Hello. This is Adrienne, Capricorntigress of Astrology, A Look Inside, and I'm coming back to talk to you guys a little bit about Uranus in Gemini and how it's going to affect all 12 zodiac signs over the next 7-8 years. This is major, you guys. So hold on to your seats. We're going to start with the first sign, and then I'm going to explain how I'm going to do this. Hello. This is Adrienne, Capricorntigress of Astrology, A Look Inside.com, and I am coming to do a breakdown for each of the zodiac signs. And I am actually going to be doing how this Uranus in Gemini, which is happening between 2025 and 2033, how this will influence their lives, how it will influence the lives of each of these 12 zodiac signs, but in particular, the signs of Gemini and Sagittarius, as well as Virgo and Pisces. So we're definitely going to cover that. Let's talk about Gemini. Okay, so Uranus in Gemini, and how it's going to affect the sign of Gemini. And you're a Gemini if you were born between May 21st and June 20th. And this is the epic reinvention. Key themes for Gemini are identity, because it's happening in your first house. Communication, because you're a Gemini, and Gemini rules communication. And personal revolution, because Uranus always signals a revolution wherever it goes. And in this case, it's going into your first house. So it's happening to you. This is where this revolution is going to be happening, where this change is going to be happening. You're going to change, Gemini. Now, some of the biggest shifts of Uranus in your sign, it means that you're the main character of this transit. So expect some massive personal reinvention happening. Some Geminis, you might find that everything changes. Everything changes for you. You might change careers. You might move cities. You might even alter your name or your image. It's a big change. I mean, it's Uranus. It's Uranus. Let's talk about careers. So traditional jobs are going to feel stifling. You're not going to want to do them. I don't care what they are. And the crazy thing is, Gemini is normally associated with tedious jobs. Like, they're associated with doing things involving like secretarial work or administrative work. But you're going to be more drawn to things like freelancing, digital nomad, life, or some kind of futuristic field like AI, VR, podcasting, something like that. And you're a natural speaker, a communicator. So I can see some Geminis moving more into the communication fields. Now, about relationships, there could be some sudden breakups for some Geminis, or some unexpected connections. I mean, the metaverse dating, that whole thing is happening. So your social circle will evolve pretty rapidly. I just feel like there's just changes everywhere, and this change could be in your relationships as well. Also, some challenges are, avoid impulsiveness, because Uranus is going to want to make you do some impulsive things, some things that you would not normally do, but you might do them during this period, and then later you probably are going to regret them because it's impulsive. It's Uranus. Uranus brings brilliant ideas, but erratic energy. I mean, it'll have you all over the place. You need to stay grounded, and you need to come up with a plan on how you plan to stay grounded now, so when all the craziness happens, it doesn't take you for a loop. Advice is to embrace change, and this is your era to upgrade yourself fearlessly. So good luck, Gemini. Good luck. Next, I'm going to do the sign of Sagittarius. And Sagittarius is born between November 22nd and December 21st. This is going to be a belief system overhaul. Sagittarius deals with the belief system anyway. So the key themes are going to be philosophy, travel, higher learning, God. I mean, it's God and your beliefs. So some of the biggest shifts are Uranus is going to shake up your ninth house of beliefs. I mean, it's weird because the ninth house is the house that you rule, but it is that house that's going to be affected by everything. So you'll question everything. You know, you'll question religion, you'll question politics, you'll question your life's purpose. You're going to question like all the laws, the legalities. You might have some questions about travel and things like that. So your entire belief system is going to get shaken up, I think. And this is going to affect you, Saggy, because really this Gemini, Uranus and Gemini is opposing you. It's opposing everything you are, everything you believe in. So it's going to feel weird. It's going to feel really kind of like, what's going on? It doesn't make sense. In your career, you might have to go back to school. You definitely might have to relearn something or learn something new altogether. You might be someone who teaches online. You might be a teacher online, or you might work in global or tech work or ethics. But yeah, something foreign, some kind of foreign opportunities might arise. I don't know if you're open to travel or foreign opportunities. Maybe it's something you can do on the internet for a foreign company or something like that. But I see that possibility happening for Sagittarius. In your relationships, yeah, you're expect your partnerships to be a little different, a little off the wall. You might attract some unconventional partners. Your partner might be so vastly different than you that when you guys go out, people stop and stare like, what's going on there? Like, it's so different, it's so weird, it shakes things up a little bit. So I mean, Uranus is in your seventh house. I can't put it any plainer than that. So maybe someone from another culture might come into your life, or might be a partner or a digital avatar romance, something online. That might be something that happens for Sagittarius. The challenge here for Saggy, here we go. I always tell you Saggies this all the time, but avoid dogmatic debates. I know you, Saggy. I've got Sagittarius rising right here in Seattle where I am. And according to Eastern astrology, I'm a double Sagittarius and not a double Capricorn. But, you know, it's easy to get into dogmatic debates, especially right now with like with Trump and with things like El Salvador. And I mean, I have a feeling that politics and things like that are going to be really heightened over the next 4 to 7 years for sure. And I feel like some Sagittariuses are going to have to figure out how they're going to deal with that so they don't get into these dogmatic arguments and debates with people about politics and who's a liberal and who's a right and who's a conservative and who's a lefty and, you know, all that kind of stuff. Uranus can make you rebel without cause. Not a rebel without a cause, but rebel without cause. Like you're bucking against the system. If it's working, then it's working. If it's not working, then it's not working, right? But stay open-minded, because look, my thing is I am not a pro-Trump person, but if whatever is happening works, I'm for whatever works. See, that's the whole thing. I'm not going to follow any kind of dogmatic or like just follow things blindly if it's not working. I want us to do what's right and what feels the best. And I feel like some Sagittariuses are like that. They just want what's best for everybody, and they just want it to be a positive experience. So let's hope that we get that. And as long as things work out, I guess a lot of people will just go with whatever works. But I feel like some Sagittariuses might want to rebel. Okay, so you want to be careful, because you might not know where your enemies are coming from. Uranus in the 7th house is enemies, and I just don't want to leave this conversation without saying that. I mean, Uranus in the 7th house, my gosh, you could have enemies that come out of nowhere, strange, unexpected enemies that you didn't expect because you thought maybe that was your friend or that you could trust them, and all of a sudden they turn on you, or they come for you, or they do something to harm you in some way. So I just want Sagittarius to be aware of that. That came from my spirit that I had to say this for some Sagittarius, so that you know what to expect over the next 7 to 8 years. And if something like that should happen, it doesn't take you by surprise. Also, document your journey. Write podcasts, vlog your evolving wisdom, share your philosophy, share your belief system, share your wisdom, Sagittarius. I have a feeling that even though what you believe might not be what everyone believes, what you believe might be valid and important for people to hear. So make sure you really do write in podcasts and blog and share your wisdom. Okay, much love to you, Sagittarius, and may you get through this Uranus and Gemini as unscathed as possible. Okay, if you're a Sagittarius, share it in the comments and let me know how you're planning to get through the next 7 years till 2033 with Uranus and Gemini. So the next sign, and I'm doing these signs in order of importance. We first did Gemini, then we did that Sagittarius. And the next sign in order of importance is the sign of Virgo. And you're a Virgo if you were born between August 23rd and September 22nd. Virgo, this is the high-tech daily grind, as though Virgos don't deal enough with the daily grind as it is. I have a feeling more Virgos are going to be dealing with the daily grind. And the key themes are work, health, and routines. And maybe the routines you do that affect your health. So some of the biggest shifts for Virgo is that Uranus disrupts your sixth house of daily life. I mean, this is your house, Virgo. So robots, AI coworkers, or biohacking will change how you work. And it's important to know that it's high tech. So, you might want to move out of doing some things. If you're still using a file cabinet and, a Rolodex, it's time to definitely move into the 21st century. Now, as far as career is concerned, Virgo, automation is replacing old jobs. Some Virgos might find that their job that they have been doing has somehow, some way, been replaced. A lot of it might be automation. I just saw an ad earlier today on Facebook, and it was saying AI call appointment setters outperform human appointment setters. Well, here's the saddest part of that. That might be true. I'm not going to debate that part. But what's sad is all of the people who had jobs and dependent on those jobs as appointment setters who will now lose those jobs to AI. And that's what's happening. Automation is replacing old jobs. So if you're not, oh wow, I pray that this has been recording. Oh my God, I've done so much work and I don't even know if this has been properly recording. This was not plugged in that well. So I pray that you've been hearing everything that I've said. We've been on Virgo. I'm just going to keep going and pray that what I've been saying, I think maybe I'll pause and start over or start with the next sign, but end with Virgo and start again after Virgo. So Virgo, you'll adapt fast, okay? Whatever happens, you'll adapt. But some side hustles in coding, health technology, precision crafts thrive. I don't know exactly what type of precision crafts they're talking about, but I can tell you, I have a daughter who's a Virgo who has been crocheting and making granny squares. Now that takes a lot of precision to do that, but she's got like 80 granny squares. And she's like, Mom, I could do anything with these granny squares. I can make runners, I can make rugs, I can make blankets. So this is what I'm talking about, different things like that. Also, it could be that she ends up getting some high-tech machinery to do that kind of work for her. It's that type of change happening because everything is going high-tech. In relationships, Virgo, well, you'll meet some people through apps, maybe, if you're single and you're looking. There could be some VR relationships, those virtual reality relationships, or some futuristic meetups that are somehow less traditional in dating. I just feel like if you're looking for that could happen. You might do some type of high-tech weird thing in your marriage or relationship. It's going to be interesting for Virgo, I think, over the next 8 years. Some of the challenges are overwhelmed from constant change. Change can be overwhelming. So make sure that you schedule unplugged time to unplug and to heal from whatever those changes are that affect your life, because change, it can be overwhelming, especially if it's constant change. Advice is to learn a new technical skill now. Like, it'll pay off by 2026 even. Like, if you have not learned a technical skill, this is that time, Virgo, to learn that new technical skill. And over the next 7 to 8 years, add as many new technical skills as possible. Okay? Much love to you, Virgo, and may you escape this high-tech daily grind, and may this change not overwhelm you too much. Okay? If you're a Virgo, let me know in the comment section that you are indeed a Virgo. Okay? All right. So I am going to take a break and I will come back. We'll start with the sign of Pisces when I get back, but I want to check the videos to see if they've been recording, because I've done a lot of recording, and during this I noticed that the microphone was half in and half out. So I just want to check and see what has been recording and if what I need to do over, if I need to do anything over. Okay, so I'll be back shortly with the rest of the signs. Much love, much light, many blessings, and we've just went over the top 3 zodiac signs that are going to be affected by the sign or this change of Uranus in Gemini. Okay, the top 3 signs we just went over. All right, so we'll be back with more shortly.